Brooks 7 Nightly News.
Now to AFL news, and in the match of the day, Carlton stunned St Kilda with a sensational 11-goal third quarter to run away with a 35-point win at Waverley Park. The Blues produced one of their best performances of the year, and in doing so may have shut the door on Hawthorn's finals hopes.
The Blues, desperate for the points to retain their 4-point advantage over Hawthorn, were first to score, but their joy was short-lived as the Saints machine got into gear. The first goal of the match to Lockett. Moments later, Morris repeated the dose, and when Lockett was freed and converted, it was all St Kilda. With Harvey, Devonport Grant and Ralph Smith all running, the Saints were well on top with Burke goaling. Carlton's first goal through Elvin came almost 28 minutes in. The Saints through Lowe replied to lead by 24 points. The margin was similar at the main break, with St Kilda's Winmar reported for unduly rough play. After half-time, it was a massacre. Dorotic, now at centre-half forward, was in devastating form, kicking goals himself, but also contributing to a number of others as the Blues swamped the Saints. Dorotic scoring 3 for the quarter, with Madden, Gleeson and Hannah all clearly on top. It was 20 minutes into the quarter before St Kilda goal through Burke, but in that time Carlton had scored 6 goals, going on to lead by 33 points at the final break after an 11-goal quarter. The last quarter was a similar story, with Lockett kicking 2 goals, but it was all Carlton. Kernahan kicking 2. This one, after a handball from Bradley, was a beauty. The Blues up by 35 points.
The Eagles received a major shock before getting the better of Richmond at Subiaco. In the final quarter, the Tigers edged to within 2 points of last year's grand finalists, who responded well to the challenge. In the end, it was the Eagles by 20 points, with Sumich kicking 5 goals. Neil Poe has the highlights.
No sooner had former teammates Glenn Jakovic and Stephen Jackson said their hellos than the Eagles had 2 quick goals on the board against the wind. The first to Peter Sumich, the second from Brett Heddy, playing his first game in nearly 2 months. Just when it looked like another thrashing for the Tigers, they lifted. And when Jackson and another former Eagle, Todd Breman, combined, Richmond hit the front. 21 points ahead at the half, the Eagles again threatened a blowout.
Here's Matera. Oh, look at that. Look at this magnificent kick by Matera.
But while not as spectacular, the Tigers stuck to their task. 2 goals apiece to Breman and Hogg, narrowing the margin. At the same time, the Eagles were reduced to 18 players when Mitchell White injured a knee. Richmond were on a roll, and Breman's fourth narrowed the gap to just 2 points early in the final term. With a boil-over in the making and, more importantly, a top-3 finish in jeopardy, the Eagles responded with 5 of the next 7 goals to finally snuff out Richmond's bold challenge. Neil Poe, 7 Nightly News.
The Adelaide Crows didn't have too many problems against the Bears in their first match at Carrara. After an even first half, the Crows piled on 8 goals to 3 to win their 9th game of the season by 33 points. Hodges kicked 5 and Lindner 4 for the winners. The ladder, and Carlton has moved into 4th spot following this afternoon's great win, while the Saints are suddenly under pressure to retain their spot.